One of Nickelodeon's biggest creators is calling it quits at the network. What the heck is going on? Hey guys, what's up? SirMel11 here. So, Butch Hartman, creator of Fairly Odd Parents, Danny Phantom, Tuff Puppy, and most recently Bunsen is a Beast, has left his job at Nickelodeon. He posted a 14-minute video going over his history at Nickelodeon and why he's quitting his job at Nickelodeon. In the video, he says that he reached a decision and decided that it was time to go. He praises Nickelodeon throughout the video, so there's no bad blood between them. He talks about the origins of Fairly Odd Parents, working on Fairly Odd Parents and Danny Phantom at the same time, and even mentions that his new show, Bunsen is a Beast, may have had a chance for a second season. While Hartman never said anything bad about Nickelodeon in the video, I think there's more to this situation. 20 years at a network is a long time, and I can understand wanting to leave to do other things, to do more personal things. Hartman is only 53 years old, so he's still pretty young. He started working at Nickelodeon in his 30s. Think about that. 20 years at Nickelodeon. That's such a long time. That's crazy. As I stated before, Hartman had nothing bad to say about Nickelodeon, but he did hint at some problems there. For one, he has had shows that he's worked on that have gone along in the production process, and then Nickelodeon has said, we don't want this show anymore. I wouldn't like that. What if this happened to him recently? What if they told him, hey, your new show isn't cutting what we want on the network. We're sorry, but we're going to be ending production before the show goes on air, or something like that. That's depressing, and I wouldn't enjoy hearing that. It's depressing because putting so much work into a project that you think is going to be successful, and then having someone tell you, no, this is not what we wanted, we're sorry, we're going to be ending production now. I just wouldn't like it. And just think about that. Butch Hartman has been working at Nickelodeon for 20 years. And I think that's enough to quit if this has been happening to him multiple times over the past 20 years. Just being told, hey, the show isn't good enough. You may have done Fairly Odd Parents and Danny Phantom, but this new idea isn't good enough. And I'm not saying Nickelodeon is wrong in this situation, because who knows, his idea could have not been that great. But why did it go into production? Why were they producing animation, or why were they putting together a team or anything like that for a show? Why are they doing voice work? I don't know how far into production these shows got, but just think about that. You know, you start producing a show, maybe you start producing an episode or something, and then Nickelodeon's just like, we don't want this anymore. I just feel like early on they could have just said, you know, we don't want this, you know. I think we're getting to an age where creators want to be more independent. Butch Hartman, for example, he's not working at Nickelodeon anymore. He's been focusing on his YouTube channel, and he's also trying to do other things that I will be bringing up later in the video. YouTubers want to be more independent. They don't want to work under networks, because networks take money from YouTubers, and YouTube already takes money, so then you would have two companies taking money from you, and you're just kind of losing a lot in that situation, unless you're with a good network. And I'm sure there are other careers that people, they want to be more independent. They want to produce their own content on their own. They want to own their content. Because when you think about it, cartoonists like Butch Hartman, all their characters and their series and everything, they're owned by Nickelodeon. Or you think about people that work for Cartoon Network. All their stuff is owned by Cartoon Network. They can't really do that much with these characters outside of Cartoon Network. So just think about that. You spend years and years creating these characters, writing for these characters, making sure they're perfect, and you have to put this idea, you have to give this idea over to a network to put it into production, to get money and funding and everything. But at the end of the day, you no longer own these characters. People want to own their own content. They don't want to be tied to a network. And while they may lose money that way, just think about it. Butch Hartman, he's been in the business for 20 years. I'm sure he has some money to produce some animation and everything. But there are other reasons. Perhaps he didn't like how Bunsen is a Beast was being treated. While I didn't like the show, I think airing Bunsen as a Beast on Nicktoons was pretty rude to Butch Hartman, who has had successful shows like Fairly OddParents and Danny Phantom. Nicktoons is usually where the anime is put and where cartoons go to die. So I was surprised because based on what Hartman said, they could have gotten another season of Bunsen as a Beast, but he declined it and quit. So it's a little bit weird that Bunsen was airing on Nicktoons, but they were still confident enough to give it another season. And I haven't really liked Hartman's newer content anyway, so this isn't really a loss for me, but this could be another reason as to why he and Nickelodeon separated. Bunsen had a different art style from all of his previous shows, but it looked pretty good. I just didn't like the first episode. I was actually planning on doing a review of the first episode, but I was trying to watch it and it's just like, I don't like this. I watched Tuff Puppy for a little bit. I enjoyed it, and then I kind of grew to dislike it. I don't know what exactly happened, but I just kind of grew to dislike it. It was something I was just watching to watch. Like, I wasn't really watching it, just kind of sitting there and everything, and then I just dropped it. I stopped watching Tuff Puppy. Danny Phantom was a good show. Fairly OddParents was good in its earlier seasons. And in another video, Hartman mentions that Fairly OddParents was only allowed to keep going on Nickelodeon if he added more characters. So that's how Poof, Sparky, and Chloe came into creation. Hartman actually reveals a few secrets about Nickelodeon in his videos, so if you want to check those out, he kind of sprinkles little secrets here and there, fun facts, so if you should check out his channel. Moving back to the main topic of Butch Hartman quitting his job at Nickelodeon, he talks about Danny Phantom in this video, and out of his 4 shows, this is the one that I think people want to come back the most. It seems to have a pretty big following online, and I wouldn't say that it's more popular than Fairly OddParents, but it's certainly possible. Fairly OddParents has been going on for years, and it's been going on for so long that I thought it ended a few years ago because it wasn't being advertised. I've seen this same situation with Regular Show and Adventure Time. People thought that these shows ended because they didn't see them on the network as much. You know, they didn't see them on TV as much. But Fairly OddParents kind of dropped in quality, so I can see them not airing that as much. I mean, that's kind of rude, but yeah. Danny Phantom is a show that I actually never finished, but I loved what I saw of it. And Hartman just keeps mentioning Danny Phantom in his videos, and really the Danny Phantom 10 years later video is what blew Hartman's channel up, so clearly he has ideas for what happened after Danny Phantom and what would happen in the future of Danny Phantom. He'd love to work on more of that show if Nickelodeon would allow it, and then, you know, have him back at Nickelodeon, but I don't think old shows need to come back. Because some shows have come back, such as Powerpuff Girls, Ben 10, That's So Raven, and they just haven't been as good as their previous shows. So if Butch Hartman and Nickelodeon can bring back Danny Phantom and keep the same level of quality that it had years ago, sure, that's fine. But based on what networks and some of the original creators have put out, I don't think this is a good idea to bring back Danny Phantom. No matter how much I want it, no matter how much other people want it, I don't know if this is the best idea. And while this may not be the best argument, Hey Arnold the Jungle movie didn't do so well. Nickelodeon didn't market this movie as good as they could have. They should have put Hey Arnold on the main channel, re-aired some of the episodes, not put Hey Arnold on the side channel or just the side channel. If you want to really advertise it, put it on the main channel and the side channels. Put it on Nicktoons, put it on Teen Nick. Just advertise it. So if Danny Phantom comes back, I could see it moving to Nicktoons or something. So what's the real reason that Butch Hartman quit working at Nickelodeon? Well, based on what he said, it was just time for himself and Nickelodeon to separate. But based on what I think, Nickelodeon is a network that isn't being ran properly these days. There's a focus on live action shows over animation, which is the same thing that Disney does. Shows are thrown on Nicktoons to die. A classic series such as Hey Arnold returns in the form of a movie and isn't advertised well. I think Butch Hartman took the chance he had to get out of Nickelodeon, and he ran with it to focus on things like growing his YouTube channel, his podcast channel, writing books, doing animations, and more. And as he said in the video, he isn't stopping anytime soon, and he's open to doing more things, posting them on YouTube instead of going through a network. So clearly he doesn't mind separating himself from a network, and this would be better in his favor because he would have ownership over these characters. Now maybe he may not get as many views online as he would on TV, but he's had 20 years in Nickelodeon. I'm sure he has plenty of money around. So he ends the video with a clip from Danny Phantom. It kind of has to do with him quitting and everything. And yeah, that's really about it. So what did you think? Why did Butch Hartman quit working at Nickelodeon? Are you sad about this? Are you sad about Bunsen is a Beast not getting a season 2? Do you want to see Danny Phantom come back? And are you confident that it would be good? Anyways, that's it for me. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you like my content and want to see more, be sure to subscribe. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter and like me on Facebook. The links are below. I'm Sir Mo11. See you next time, and peace out.